My name is Julia Puebla Fortier, and I'm the interviewer today based in London. We are recording on Zoom an interview for Border Crossings 30, and I will turn the introduction over to my guest to introduce herself and spell her name and place.
Okay. My name is Dzifa Glikpoe, Dzifa, and the surname is Glikpoe. I was a teacher first before getting into theater. After I retired from the National Theater, I came back to teaching. So I'm right now in Penfield High School, where I teach English language and literature.
And can you tell us the city and the country
Yes.
too?
How?
The city,
Penfield?
the city and the
Oh,
country.
city, Accra. I'm in the capital of Ghana, Accra. Mhm.
Perfect. And today is the 11th of March, 2026. So
Yes.
go ahead and start the interview now. And I'm wondering if you can tell us how you came to be involved in border crossings and what in your personal or professional journey led you to that point.
Even though I trained first as a teacher, I've always been interested in theater. What brought the interest first was when I was a child in church, we were doing biblical stories, going around villages performing for them. But then when I started teaching, the literature books we were doing were interesting. Students were there to nickname me Susan Henshaw. I said, no, I'm stronger than that over here. So my interest in literature came from there. The school I was teaching in at that time, the headmaster wanted academics, no extracurricular activity. So I said, no, I wanted to do theater. If I wasn't going to be allowed to do it to students, then I would go and train and be an actress myself. So I went to school to learn acting. So I was at the drama studio. That time, we had formed a resident company for the School of Performing Arts. But when the National Theatre of Ghana was being built, they decided that those who had finished the training course and were ready should go and be the resident group at the National Theatre. So we were still at Legon at the time because the theatre, we hadn't moved in there yet. So one day we were there with a friend who passed on, and then somebody told me, a white man was looking for you. I said, white man? Then Michael came in and he said, everybody I talked to said, talk to Dzifa, talk to Dzifa. So he told us why he came to Ghana. Then that was 2007. And Ghana was going to celebrate or celebrating Ghana at 50. We call it Ghana at 50, 50 years of our independence. And Michael told us that 2007 marked the 200 years since the abolition of the British slave trade. So this linked the themes of the two plays. The play he was going to do, uh, the themes, theirs, ours, to slavery and colonialism. Uh-huh. So then I was sitting there with a friend, as I said earlier, and I said, okay, there's a good friend. She will fit in very well with what you want. There's another lady, very good actress, very experienced, but she didn't go to school. She couldn't read English. She couldn't speak English. She couldn't understand English. But she was very good, total performer, could sing, could dance, could do the dialogue, except it would not be in English. So he said, oh, if she's as good as you say, I would like to meet her. So I made a call to her, and then she joined us. And then we started talking. We introduced her to Michael. We started talking. And somehow one of us raised a song. And all three of us started dancing. And Michael was impressed. He said, no, I think I want this lady to join, whether she could speak English or not. So, and our kind of theater here, we have the music, we have the dialogue, we have dance. That's the kind of thing we do because they call the company a Bibi Groma. It means we do traditional things, black theater, like storytelling kind of thing that combines dialogue with dance and music and all that. So we were set to go. The following day, Michael had an audition with the School of Performing Arts students. Incidentally, didn't pick anybody from there. The three of us he met that day, plus one gentleman from the music department. He was playing a traditional instrument called seprewa. I don't know if you watched the production we did, but there was this musician who was playing a traditional instrument. Seprewa, say, crunchy, very good. So the four of us came in there to meet the Black British actors, and we took off from there. Yeah.
That's lovely. Thank you. So could you tell us a little bit now about the production process, what it was like to develop the show, what it was like to work with the other actors, anything that you can say about your approach to developing and performing?
Strangely enough, when we came in, we were so well received. The people we met, the other Black British actors we met, were very nice. They were friendly. We felt at home at once. And it went well. It went well. Except that, sometimes Ghana here, once in a while, make a little joke here, and sometimes you are rehearsing, a little break, you go for phone. No, Michael wouldn't take that. And you cannot be doing what you're not supposed to do at his rehearsal. If you are working, we are working. If there's a break, there's a break. And so we all fitted in, and it went well. It was very good. Nice. We enjoyed it.
And what about the process of actually developing the storyline, what each actor or performer did in the show, how you interacted with each other and developed the whole story together?
The cast, it's a script already written, a book. Yes. But then we do not have all the characters listed in the production. Well, sometimes you redistribute. You may kill some of the characters and give the important lines to other people where there'll be no conflict. Once it goes in there, you combine the role, you combine the lines, and nobody even noticed that some characters were taken out and others were brought in because all the lines were there. And even we were surprised because even those people who were not Ghanaian, for us from Ghana, we will take it that it's our culture. We are used to everything in there. But the people who came, somehow they also fitted in. It was good. If there was a problem with pronunciation or some behavior, we did it together, and it was fine. It was fun. We enjoyed it. And Michael was very, very good at that. He was strict, but he will make sure you do the right thing. And the production came out very well. We're very happy doing it. Mm-hmm.
Mm. And how was this process of developing this production in London different from doing it in other productions or other environments that you had performed or in?
When we performed at home, everybody knew the culture. Nothing was new, right? Now you take it, it's like you're bringing an African village experience to a British London audience, So we're a bit skeptical how they will accept it. But it went well. It went well. From day one when we started the performance, people came there, they enjoyed themselves, and it was good. I'll give the credit to Michael. He did a wonderful job. Yes. We the gentleman who played I can't remember his name now, who played the major role. I think it's a Nigerian, a black gentleman. Yeah, he did very well. If there's something you need to explain to him, you do it, and he takes it. Yeah, so we all came down as one because we're building the thing together. The cast is not like, oh, you are Ghanaian, you are a British, black British performer. We were just one, and we're building it together. So if we needed to explain something, we did, and we went on.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't feel like something you shouldn't do. We were like, we're just performing at home because the atmosphere was stuck that way. And the way Michael did it, you could change into another character just on stage, put on this, put on that, and you are good to go. And it made it very easy. The set, everything was easy. So we really enjoyed ourselves. We enjoyed it.
And were there particular things from this project that you took back to your work at home? Different ways of rehearsing, of developing scripts, of performing on stage. What would you say was the legacy for you professionally?
Um, when I first, Michael arranged a few things for me, a number of things for me. I went to other places to see the way they handled theater. I sat in their rehearsals. The 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 one that was big, the big one for me was sitting in the rehearsals of the Royal Shakespeare Company. For 2 weeks, I sat in their rehearsal. And I realized that apart from the main director directing the show, there were other directors. Somebody was in charge of accent. Somebody was in charge of fight. Somebody else was in charge of movement. And I found that I opened my mouth. I said, what? One production? So many different people? Here is one person is directing, you're directing. Maybe what you can do is get a choreographer to do a particular dance. Maybe the dance is from a particular region, which is not your traditional dance, so they come to help. So somebody will do other things. But to have a director for movement, director, accent director, this director, I saw that only with the Royal Shakespeare Company. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then I also noticed that some of the places I've been to, I found I did a workshop in Glasgow. Michael sent me there to do a workshop in Glasgow. A workshop. They said they wanted to see a Ghanaian play, and since I was in London, if you could send me over, so they would see a Ghanaian play. So Michael told me this earlier, so I sent a script ahead. It's called Edufa, and gave it to the students very close to the hotel I was staying in Glasgow. I can't remember the name. I went there. We read the scripts together. I explained everything cultural that they needed to understand. I explained, and then we did a reading. Now they had to read it over for the performance the next day. So the next evening, we were ready to perform, script in hand. Now, what I noticed was that here, when you stand still, you are still. You don't feed it. You don't move unless you have to move. But I noticed that the attention was from the upper part of the body. And I noticed some feet drifting little by little. Maybe they were not even aware of it. I noticed it. So when I went to other places, I wanted to know why. Because here we're trained to move if you have to move. If you're not moving, you stand there, you're not fidgeting. And then Ghanaians, we gesticulate a lot. we talk with gestures, we throw our hands. We don't overdo when you're on stage, you are not supposed to overdo it. But when we're talking, we gesticulate a lot. So when I see them, and even when you are an audience, you're sitting in the audience and the cast, they raise a song. You know how to sing it. We join them to sing. You are in your seat, You are dancing. You are dancing to it. And so we are very expressive. I didn't see that with audiences in London. So we perform and we wonder if they are enjoying the thing. You finish and they give you standing ovation. We say, wow. So that difference in the culture was something else we learned. People don't have to shout all the time or scream, or when you speak, they don't understand. Hey, open your jaws. Somebody can shout from the audience for you to speak up. We didn't get all that, you know. So it was a beautiful experience for us, what we know at home, what we are experiencing now, and it was fine. I remember in Plymouth, the first time we went to Plymouth, that's where we opened the play. We're looking for a place. We're driving around and around and around. Then my friend Agi said, Michael, in Ghana, we ask. When you go in somewhere you can't find it, we ask. So Michael got to a place that he stopped and asked some people where we were going. And they directed us within a very short time. We were there. Agi said, Michael, you see, in Ghana, we ask. But here, we don't. You'll be going around. I don't know how else you find a place. So it was a beautiful blend for us. Things we do at home, things we are new that are new to us, and all that. It's a beautiful thing. And when I never got an answer to this drifting eye call and being stiff, as I put it at the time, till I got to the Royal Shakespeare, because every director I met, I asked. And then the director there told me that when theater started in London, those days, the people who were in it, those who were performing, and those who were in the audience were all middle class people. And stillness was the in thing. You don't go throwing your hands by heart. Well, by heart, that's what we say here. So forgive me. You don't just throw your hands anyhow. So you still. When it's over, you enjoy it, you want to give standing ovation, you are free to do that. But we were not used to that. So we're performing and we are like, hey, are they enjoying this thing? Can they hear the language we are speaking? Can they hear? Is the accent a problem for them? That kind of thing. For you to finish and then you see all of them rise and they give you standing ovation. So, so they were enjoying it after all. Yeah, so those are little things. And then the discipline. Once you are rehearsing, you are rehearsing. If it's time for business, it's time for business. It's not to run for phone. It's not to do a conversation with somebody else. It's no. Michael put that in us. And we had it here, but then we realized that, yes, work time is work time. And when you have the break, you can fool around the way you want. Mm-hmm. And we visited so many different places, workshops, one in Belfast, where we read Ghanaian plays, we explained it to them. You know, here in Ghana, we were doing a lot of foreign plays. We read a lot in school, in drama school, we read a lot of plays from outside. And some of them we tried to fit it into our culture. If there were a few things we needed to change, we would do so it will go down better with the audience. So that blend also helped my work when I came back.
Mm. Very interesting. Can you say a little bit more about the interaction between you and Michael and the British artists that you were collaborating with? How you discussed culture, how you discussed tradition, how you discussed traditional art forms. How was that translated and developed together amongst all of the artists?
Where some of the places things were easy, and other places for example, here we have what we call theater for development, right? You take issues that need attention and you do a play around it and you take it to the community to go and perform for them. And this, you see the things they do. They are the people on stage. They understand. this is us. Because when they see the production, they know, oh, we do this. It's not good, right? So it's a blend. The new things we see there. When I watched, there's a production this Shakespeare people did. I hear the play. They needed accent. I think they were Irish. Irish. Either the play was to use the Irish accent or people playing the Irish and they had to speak the English. That's why they had this director, accent director. Mm-hmm. So when we had a thing like that, we saw how they went about it. I sat there in the rehearsal for 2 weeks, so I gathered a few things. I made notes. So here we'll be doing a play that is mostly in maybe the local language, but rewritten in the English language. So we find a way of doing it such that the people who don't speak English will understand. Here was the lady Auntie Ama who couldn't speak English, couldn't read English, couldn't do anything, but then she had to perform. Michael said, perform in the local language, in your language, your tree. So other people will reply. If you say, what is your name? Your friend will say, a tree. The person who is answering will say, my name is. So you put it together and say, oh, he was asking her name. And it was interesting. So that experience alone also showed us that we could do the same at our end. When somebody speaks English and the person doesn't understand, there's a way, not translating this word means this, but just, and we did that with even the French language, because we used to go to Burkina Faso those days, we used to go to Ivory Coast, and we tried to learn the French language. We're the only English-speaking country performing plays in French. So there was one guy who was born in Cote d'Ivoire. He spoke fluent French. So he would speak the French. The wife would speak the English. But because he was so good in the French, the way he would answer will let you know that this is what he was addressing. Uh-huh. So those things worked for me. It helped me when I came back. Yes.
Mm, absolutely. And what about the elements of culture that are more related to, as you said earlier, you talked about storytelling and dance and singing as being integrated into the performance. Was that something new that you brought to the performance in London? And how did that work?
It's been with us. It's been with us. Well, there were groups in Ghana, performing groups that did what we call straight plays. Because straight plays meant there was no music, dancing, and all that. We just do it straight. And we call ours total theater because you have the dialogue. It's like you have the chorus, you have the music, you have dramas, drum, and you learn the dances. And those things were it enriched the performance. So when we went to any French speaking country, because they were doing straight plays, and I always had the music and the dance. So they gave us prime time all the time, and the halls were full. Because even if they didn't understand the language, they would see beautiful dances, they would listen to music with the drums and all that, you know. Mm-hmm. So these were not new, it's home. But bringing it to a London stage where the culture is different, but the way it was accepted encouraged us a lot. People didn't walk out, they didn't make faces like, what are they saying? What are they doing? No. People might not join the way we were doing in Ghana. You know the song, you sing with them. But you could see from their faces, those who will nod, you know. And you could see from their faces that, yeah, they were enjoying it. And when they end up with the standing ovation, you say, yeah, we have done it there. So it's not a cultural thing. It might be new, but it wasn't. In fact, we were rather following the way other people were doing it, other cultures like Britain. Okay. The straight plays. If I take whose plays, uh, if we take Bernard Shaw, I did my early days, I did Bernard Shaw with the students in school, and it's a straight play. But I will introduce my culture into it and maybe do some dance and something some way. Uh-huh. So introducing what we saw there, like straight plays, that what we had it already. We were rather trying to change that and make the English plays that we were doing, add something to make it our own or make it more acceptable at home. Uh-huh. And because all the places we visited, it was well received. We did a play like that at a festival in Burkina Faso. There was a festival director from La Côte d'Ivoire, and he said he wanted to see me. They called me, I went to him, he said, I want that play at the festival. See? And then we had to take it to La Côte d'Ivoire. So we realized that the total theater was working. It was good. And the audiences we performed for, they preferred it to the straight plays they were doing. And when we came to London, it was equally accepted. Yeah.
Mm. And would you say that that the cultural elements need to be explained to the audience, either before the show or in conversation after the show, or something that you do during the show that maybe sets a context or an explanation for what they might not be familiar with?
After. But when it's workshop, the workshop I had in Belfast, I sent the script ahead of time. They came, we read it. Glasgow, I sent the script ahead of time. They read it. In fact, I spent the whole day explaining the cultural thing, which might be new to them, but they needed to understand those things to be able to interpret what they were saying. Uh-huh. So I would do that one before the start of rehearsals. So we did it ahead of time. But I noticed that the audiences who came to watch were appreciative. They enjoyed it. Uh-huh. So the cultural thing wasn't too much a problem. It was well accepted. Where we needed to explain before the show, we would do. And if after the show conversation, but that one is not like people were seated and you go around explaining. They come backstage, they meet you, you talk. Somebody has a question, they ask you, you explain. So it's not like classroom where everybody is seated and you are talking to them. But individually, I am talking to somebody. My friend Agnes is talking to another person. Our black British actors were also talking to other people. And it went well.
Mm. Mm. Lovely. Um, Maybe you could tell me a little bit more now about, it's been some time since this performance happened in
Yes.
London. Um,
Yes.
tell me what your artistic journey has been like since this time, and what elements of this experience. I mean, you've talked a little bit about modifying some of your approaches and bringing some of those lessons from the UK back, but for you personally as an artist, what has transformed in that time?
I was directing things, I was acting myself a lot. I was more acting than directing because when I joined the group, I didn't join as a director. I was picked when I was in the final year as a student. And then we had directors who worked with us and they were training some of us. And we got into directing. Okay. When I came to Shakespeare Company, one thing they did was after a certain section, they would sit down and they would talk. They would discuss the next scene, what everybody is supposed to do if any actor had any questions, they ask before they get on. And that was good for me. I picked it. Because like here we start rehearsal, we just go. We don't stop. Okay, so far this is what we have done. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? How do you explain this? What do you do to make it more meaningful to the audience? That kind of thing. We were not doing that. We would discuss the script at the beginning before we began rehearsal. So everybody knew what we were going to do. That was there. But within the rehearsal, let's say we finished Act 1, Scene 1. Okay, let's stop. Let's look at it. Okay, what's the next scene? What is involved? We discuss it. Everybody says whatever they had. Then we will move on to the stage now. That is what Shakespeare Company was doing. And I found that one new because we didn't have it here. You would discuss the script and everything at the beginning.
Mm.
If somebody made a mistake or there were breaks, you correct those mistakes. But to say, okay, this is what we have done so far, this is the next one, what and what and what is expected? What are we supposed to be doing? How do you understand it? How do you get it down to the audience? We were not doing that within, but that's something new I got. So it helped me because I came back now and I finished not only performer, I was directing now because then I was promoted director. I was doing a little more directing than I used to.
Mm. And as an artist, do you have a preference?
Mhm.
Or it seems to me like you have many different roles now. You have acted, you have directed, you're also teaching. Um, how do each of those roles speak to you?
As I said in the beginning, I started as even though my interest in theater started when I was in primary school, in church, we're doing biblical stories. Joseph and his brothers, Haman and what we're doing those things, and we're going to other villages around my hometown, and we're performing, and it was good. We didn't. There was no trained theater person, but we're just doing it the way it was. So that was where my interest started, and uh, in school, too, in the primary school, teachers will call me. They'll give me poems to go and learn and recite on Children's Day. So I had this exposure right from child. So when I started reading these literature books, I went to a very big school when I came to Accra. And it's a big school, and I was very young at the time. I got there before I got to age 19. And I wanted to do the drama. The headmaster said, no, call me Madam Drama. Madam Drama, this drama, the boys will fail. You've been brought here to teach English and literature. Do that and stop this drama thing. I felt so discouraged. But I said, we're preparing the devil's disciple, but not sure. We're preparing for our annual speaking prize giving day. I will not give up like that. And it was an all boys school. So young boys whose voices were not broken yet were doing girls' part for me. I said, I will not stop. So, but then I said, after that, I will not do anymore. So we did it the following Monday. The students, old students. 1 year group brought us money, another year group brought us money, another year group, 5 old boy groups brought us money, a lot of money. So the headmaster said, Madam Drama, another one has come. So I was able to go to the art center in Accra and I ordered stage flats, which no school had. But then I decided that if he wasn't going to allow me to use the students to do this, I would go to school and learn to be an actress myself because I had that interest from childhood. So that took me to school to go and do theater arts. But then I said, if I did only this diploma and I stop there, what if I stop teaching one day? What will happen? If I stop acting, what will happen? So I decided to go back. I'd done the English specialist course already at Winneba. So I said, okay, let me go and do. So I went to do the diploma in theater arts. Then I said, okay, maybe one day I might stop acting and have to go and teach. So I have to go and do the degree in English. So I was combining. So when finally I retired at 60 from public service, I decided to go back to teaching. There were a lot of private schools looking for qualified trained teachers. So I got a job in the school. And I'll be here 13 years. So,
Mm.
yeah.
And earlier you had said something about theater in development. And
Mhm.
I'm wondering if you could say a little bit more about the role of theater and traditional arts as in society, either how people relate to each other or in the culture or in the politics? What role do you see theater having?
When it comes to, that's a problem. Sometimes politics is another issue, but every society knows the things they do right and the things they do wrong. No society encourages robbery. Thieves are not welcome anywhere. So if, for example, robbery is going on too much in a particular society, you can do a play on that. And you go and perform it for them. You don't tell them this is you, but they know. If young people refuse to go to school, or they run away from school, they go gambling, we form plays about that. If the source of drinking water is not wholesome, and you need to boil your water before you drink it, we'll do a play with that. We come to the society, and this is us. Okay, so you take the issues that are of concern to the people in a particular society that you may have identified or you come to know. Then you sit down, the whole group, you discuss, how are we going to do this? For example, a ministry called us. They said they wanted a play on how people could save, government workers, how you could save for your future so that you don't, when you retire, you don't suffer. Okay. So we did a play, we sat down, we discussed it, and people go from office to office selling all kinds of things. In Ghana, we do that. Somebody will come to your office, he has a heap of kente fabric selling. Oh, I'll buy on credit. You buy. Next time somebody comes to second-hand tops, you buy on credit. At the end of the month, I'll pay a little. Another person brings perfume. Oh, ask for perfume. Hey, ask for handbags. Oh, ask for shoes. So you buy. The little will be paying the people, each of these people you bought from. At the end of the month, it's more than your salary. So they came, that ministry told us that they wanted a play on how people should save. We should come and do it for them in the office. They paid us, a government, so we did it. I set the play in an office. So the woman comes there with her things. One woman, she said she's careful how she spends her money. She hasn't budgeted for this and that. She will not buy. Another said, oh, as for bags, yeah, it's my weakness. So let me have it. I'll pay half of it at the end of it. Like that. Okay, so one day, she said, the woman who was selling the kente, the friend, did she come for her money the last time? Said, no, I put the money aside, but then I use it to pay this other thing. So somebody opened the door and he thought it's the kente woman. So she wanted to dodge, So we make it funny. It's interesting. So, but then the message is there. So they know themselves, those who do that. We have a name, Cheche, that's the one who is selling this, the one who is selling that, the one who is selling that. So they nickname you. So you won't do it again. So organization scholars do something on how people should save for old age. And we build a story and we take it there. They pay the company, we perform for them, and they learn from it. So we do a lot of theater for development. Depending on the problem in your area, when you bring it to us, we will sit down, discuss it. You will tell us what you want us to do, and we will make it interesting and present it to them. We do a lot of that. And we go around districts, we go around with it, we go to schools. And then another thing we do with the set books, literature set books, the ones that are drama, we perform it. And we go around the schools to show it to them. There was one book by Ifa Sutherland. It's called The Marriage of Anansiwa. It was a set book. It's a drama. We performed it. And we went around the schools performing. They said, yeah, we read it, but we didn't imagine it this way, you see, and it's easier for them. When we came back, a lot of them wrote letters. Oh, thank you. Now it's easy. We can understand. So it helps students. It helped people in the community when you know their issues or they bring their issues and you bring it into a play. Everybody enjoys it, but the lesson is there. You will learn it, whether you like it or not. Mm-hmm. That's theater for development.
Mm. Okay. Very, very interesting that. Um, so let me just ask you now, as you reflect on your engagement, your involvement with border crossings, is there some question that you, or some topic that you wish that I had asked you about? Something else you want to say about it?
For me, that was the first time I came to London to stay for 5 solid months. That's my first time. There was a time we were going for a festival in Edinburgh Festival. Um, then we were at Legon University. We came there for 2 months to perform the Fringe, I think it's Fringe Festival. Uh-huh. And that was just Edinburgh, Then we left. But to come to London, stay for 5 months. After my friends were leaving, we finished with the border crossing program, 2 months. I had to stay for another 3 months. And I was dreading it. How am I going to get around in London alone? But Michael arranged things for me that really, really helped me. You just say, okay, you are needed in this place, go Belfast, and I will go here, and I'll go here. And the people were nice. They helped me. I don't know. It was good. I met different groups. Plymouth itself, I attended workshops with people. We went to Winchester. That one, they were doing theater for development, but it was different from what we were doing. I didn't find that too impressive. But yeah, it was fine. It was good. I will never forget the Shakespeare experience. I love the performance, the way they build, they set the forest. Oh, it helped me a lot. Michael helped me a lot, a lot. Sometimes he put me up in his home. Yeah, and then following day, we will go. For the first time, I could stand, pick a train, go to the center of London, walk to Africa Center, come back. I said, if my friends leave, how was I going to manage this all alone on my own? But I was able to do it. When I had to go to Glasgow, I had to, during the day, go to the station where I pick the train, be sure that I knew the place. So when I set off, I would go there. So, and that one, somebody went to, Michael got somebody to go with me and sat with me when I went through all that we did. So yes, I had help in different ways, not necessarily all theater, but for my personal development, yes, that scholarship helped me a lot. I saw how British groups organize their rehearsals. Like the Shakespeare Company one was so impressive. I studied and I watched and I loved it. So I had a good time. Enjoyed myself. I think you've asked. Yeah, getting around London was my problem. There was one day Michael took me to his place. I think he lived North London, and I was to come back on my own. He took me into the train. They said I got the train, came to what does what do you call that place? The center of London, thereabouts. Well, that was where I picked train to come back to where I was. I said, hey, well, I saw some people. I said, let me go and ask where I can't forgotten the name, a big train station. And as you get close, you want to ask, they disappear. I don't know if they're afraid of you because you are black. Then I saw, yeah, this building, that building, that building. Yeah, so then I went and true, it was a train station. I got it. So getting around on my own after the rest had left, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I had that experience too. I didn't think I could, but I did it. Mhm.
Yeah. And have you stayed connected with any of your fellow actors from the Border Crossings project?
No, what happened was I lost my phone, and those days I didn't even store things well, so I lost everybody's number. Then somebody, I don't know if the person said I was stranded in London and I needed how many something $100. How would I be asking for dollars in in London? No, thanks for pounds. Yes, I was stranded and I needed money. So Michael sent me an email. Are you still in London? I said, no, Michael, I'm back in Ghana. Then a cousin of mine also sent it. Somebody is using your name to say you were stranded in London and you needed help. And I said, no, that's not true. I'm in Ghana. So all kinds of, but we're through. I lost a lot of numbers, but we had this email thing with Michael. So it was, but the rest, my cousins who were there at the time, I lost their numbers. Once in a while, if I see them, we connect back. I had an uncle in Plymouth. He's late now. So when I went back to Plymouth, we opened the play in Plymouth. Then we came back. When we finished and they left, I had to go back there on the self-improvement program where I had to sit and watch different theaters and their performances. I went to lodge them for the 2 weeks that I stayed there. So Michael gave me a lot of free hand. I was able to move around and enjoy myself and all that and go to places that I didn't think. My uncle and the wife took me to a place where they recorded this movie, Pride and Prejudice. It was a beautiful place. I said, wow, a lot of green going down the slope like that. I said, well, they took me to go and see it. And if Michael hadn't gotten that self-improvement program for me from Art Council England on the Africa Beyond, I wouldn't have been there to see all those things. So I'm always grateful to Michael. Yeah. The wife, the children were very small at the time. I saw one picture the other day. I said, hey, this boy looks like you. Michael said, oh, I'm not that handsome. I said, no, you were his age before. So at that age, you were very handsome. So, oh, yeah. So we're like, had a nice time there. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's great. Um, Anything else you want to say in closing?
My gratitude. I was just wondering why it had to take 19 years.
Wow.
10 years. I'm an old woman now. And I might not remember everything, but certain things stand out for me. And I might leave here and I'll say, oh, I should have said this. I should have said that. But it's been a long time. And my friend, in fact, my friend who died, if I would have brought her here to sit with me, while we should have also brought a lot. And that, it's okay. Yeah, it went well. We are forever grateful. Yes. So I'll tell Michael if there's another chance for us to do another production, we are ready.
Wonderful. Yeah, that would be fantastic.